Good morning to all of you. This is also Jurisprudence class, question paper 2019. Problem maybe 2016. So please refer to the question number. I don't have the correct number. So brief facts of the problem are as follows. The child abuse is not identified to the expected levels. Actually identified, but anyway, the question is like this. The child abuse is not identified to the expected levels in the respective enactments of the legislations. Juvenile Justice Act is there, Child Labour Prevention Act is there, Child Marriage Restraint Act, so many acts have come. But still the comment is child abuse is not identified to the expected levels. Definitely, law is always changing, society is changing, so many new troubles have come, pedophiles we did not expect till we saw the film Mahanadi. The enactments are not stringent enough to prevent the child abuse. So enactment should be more penalized. They should be given more punishment. The social activists are questioning the drawback of the legislation. So normally the NGOs, the social, they are saying that these punishments are not sufficient. The punishment should be made rigorous. Decide whether the enactments are not enough to curb child abuse or not. So this is the question. So please remember, the main issue in this question is whether child abuse is being tackled with the legislature or not. Is the tackling is enough with the legislature or not? Or do you want more stringent laws, or do you want more punishments from the same laws? Of course, this is a hypothetical question, but still we have to answer the same. Right? Is it not? As far as I am concerned, the laws are sufficient. Only implementation is the same. So even though child labor or bonded labor prohibits the children below the 14 years age, they should not be employed in tea stalls or things. You go to tea stall everywhere, you find the boys below 14 years. If you go to the train, if you are feel free, you see the passenger trains which are stay. Or sometimes you see the people clearing the bag, or you can call it boxes, clearing the railway bags, railway carriages, and they are collecting money. So if you see the other side of the railway station, you see the people, young boys, smoking the so-called toners and other things. Everywhere the child labor. So trafficking, quite common feature. But still, acts are there. The problem is the apathy on the part of the concerned officials. Of course, if you ask them what they will say, they say that they are not getting information. So this is the practicality. Come on, let us come back to the topic. So a person below 18 years is called a child. If he is maltreated by anyone, what is this maltreatment? By treatment by physical, emotional, sexual or psychological harm or injury to the child, it is termed as a child. It is termed as a child abuse. If the father and mother, both of them are quarreling and they are not taking care of the child properly, it is an abuse. If the father knocks away the boy out of the house and asks the mother and the child to stay out, yes, it's a child abuse. If the parents ask them forcibly go and collect money or by begging, it's a child abuse. Even in my experience, I have seen the parents engaging or directly sending their female daughters into the prostitution. It's a child abuse. Trafficking in women, child abuse. So many cases are there, no doubt. Under Indian laws, there are many provisions for the prevention of the child abuse. This is what I stated in the beginning. Number 1, section 315 and 316 of the Indian Penal Code. So this is regarding abortion. Death of an unborn infant is made punishable under these sections. So if you come to know that the woman is impregnated and she is giving birth to, if you come to know by of course this Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act is also there. At a prenatal test, if it is done, of course in India these are all things prohibited, but if you kill the unborn female child, you are liable for punishment under section 315 and 316 in the Indian Penal Code. And section 317 says, if you abandon any child below the age of 12 years, it is an offense. 376 clause 2, punishment for rape of a minor girl. All all these things. POCSO Act 2012, specific act is made to prevent sexual harassment or sexual assault. So pornographic things and all things, immoral acts against the children. Aggravated sexual assault, even not only sexual act with a woman, but the other perverse acts, they are also made punishable. And please remember in this connection, Child Welfare Committee, you have to remember, it works under Women and Child Welfare Department. It looks after the need and care and protection of the children. Now coming to the Juvenile Justice Act, please remember, Care and Protection Act 2000. It caters to the better needs of the children through care, protection, development, treatment, social integration, etc. That's why even though the child is involved in the case, you cannot call him as an accused. You have to call him a juvenile in conflict with the law. And please remember, child abuse during COVID-19. Yes, every second child experienced sexual abuse by family members during the pandemic. Another bad feature. Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 to eradicate any kind of child abuse in the form of employment, engagement of children in any actually hazardous process, etc. We are not completed, hazardous means we are not completed 40 years. This act is there. Of course, it gives leverage. You all know that the child, after closing hours of the school, he can come and indulge in family avocation like selling tea or something like that. I told you already in other videos also, you can just go through them. Now coming to already 6 minutes are over. Now coming to the case laws, you have to cite a couple of case laws. Sakshi versus Union of India 2004. Sakshi is an NGO focusing on violence against women. So they filed a public interest litigation to declare all forms of forced penetration as rape. So already POCSO Act law, it has come also. So actually this is basing on CEDAW, Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. Yes, definitely SC ordered Law Commission to examine and recommend, as a result of which in 2012 POCSO Act has made not only sexual penetration into the vagina but also on other parts like unnatural offences, sodomy, or inserting some material into the private parts. All these things, they are called as aggregated sexual assaults, penetrative sexual assaults, and they are made punishable also. Second case, State of Karnataka versus Kumar 2018. Important case, please hear carefully. The Deputy Superintendent of Police, he conducted raid on a bakery belonging to the accused, that is Kumar, and saved the child and booked the accused person under section 370 and also section 3 and 14 of the Child Labor Prohibition Act. So please remember, 370, the accused induced the child with the victim by giving money to commit or to give consent for the sexual acts and involve him in the trade of sexual exploitation or human trafficking. Very pathetic story. So even though the boy was supposed to work in the bakery, he was subjected to the so-called sexual incident. Very child. It is a classic case of child abuse. So please remember, no doubt, child can be permitted to work into the, of course, a family avocation only to do, but such things is definitely they are hazardous. Right. To conclude, in view of the above cited case laws, it can be concluded that there are enough good number of acts passed by the legislation, but it all depends upon the enforcement machinery. It is a sorry state of affairs to note that the child pornography is prevalent, but no tough action has been taken on the so-called for sites which are exhibiting the blue films, pornographic films. Likewise, human trafficking is another problem to be sorted out by the police with the help of the NGOs. If all the organizations perform their duty effectively, conjointly, together, definitely the child abuse can be tackled with the efficiency. This is what I want to suggest. The acts are enough, only the implementation coming law. Right? With this, I am concluding. Thank you very much.